Stand by. Oh, what's up, smarty people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to give me a call. Oh, wait. I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Use the hashtag What Makes You Famous to find it everywhere. I guess I'm going to be stuttering through this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, on with the show. Happy Darwin Day, everybody. Darwin Day. How are you celebrating Darwin Day? Whether you're a seasoned scientist who doesn't mind getting your hands dirty or the thought of math and dissection makes you blanch on Darwin Day, February 12th, which happens to be the same. It's Lincoln's birthday, right? Yeah, February 12th, 1809. I learned that in Wayne's World. I digress. On February 12th, we celebrate Charles Darwin's work and science in general. Take the extra time to learn about his experiments, findings, and accomplishments, and reflect on how they still affect us today. The discovery of evolutionary creation has led scientists across multiple fields to make life-altering and life-saving discoveries about our species and how we originated. There's a lot to be grateful for about Darwin and his research. On this day, let us tell you about contests and challenges multinational corporations do around the year to support students with funds they need toward tuitions. Find your resources on Scholaroo. Let's go through the history of Darwin Day. Charles Darwin, the man who would come to be known as the father of natural selection, was born on February 12th, 1809. Same day as Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The fifth of 6 children in a wealthy English family, his father was a doctor, and his grandfathers were naturalists who laid the groundwork for the discoveries that Charles would go on to make in 1825. Charles, who had been helping his father to care for the poor and sick in Shropshire, it's a very English-sounding name, Shropshire, left for medical school. He found it dull and his studies lacked effort. It wasn't long until his father sent him to Christ College in Cambridge to become an Anglican parson. Very religious dude. Did you know that? Though he was on a religious course of study, Darwin found himself drawn to natural sciences. A friend at the time got him interested in beetle collecting, and he became acquainted with other parson naturalists who spurred his interest even more. He positioned himself to join his professor on a trip to the tropics to study natural history. After his return, Darwin received an offer to serve as a naturalist on an expedition that headed down the coast of South America. The ship was the HMS Beagle, of which the captain was Robert Fitzroy. Darwin set out on his voyage in 1931 and spent 5 years aboard this ship. Across South America, Darwin was exposed to a wealth of new geology, anthropology, zoology, and botany. He carefully collected samples of fossils, rocks, plants, bugs to bring back to England. Darwin and Fitzroy both kept journals of the trip, which are impactful documents today. Darwin's theories of evolution were already percolating as the HMS Beagle returned to England. It was especially the finches in the Galapagos Islands that illustrated theories. He madly rewrote his journals from the trip to gain a better understanding. Read the work of Malthus, Malthus, and conducted experiments with plants to test his theories. During this time of overworking, he got married, but also developed a chronic illness. Finally, Darwin published On the Origin of the Species, a book that described the case for natural selection in 1859. While the book was unexpectedly popular, there was pushback from the church, which taught divine creation as the source of life. He continued to work and publish on evolutionary and selection for the next 22 years of his life. He would eventually die of heart disease in 1882, which likely originated from the chronic Chagas disease he suffered from. Chagas. You might want to learn a little bit more about Chagas. I'll probably look that up after this. Well, there's a Darwin Day timeline. If you're watching the video, right to my right, I guess, over that way. Maybe to my left, depending on your perspective. I don't know. Let's see. February 12th, 1809, Darwin is born. This is Darwin Day. 1825, he's off to medical school. 1828, he studies religion. December 27th, 1831, he gets on the HMS Beagle. And November 24th, 1859, On the Origin of the Species is published. There's some FAQs and how to observe Darwin Day. How to observe Darwin Day. Check out On the Origin of the Species. Darwin's landmark and groundbreaking book on evolution is absolutely worth a read. Yeah, I agree. On Darwin Day. In around 500 pages, Darwin's book introduces the concept of evolution, upon which much of the study of biology finds its basis today. Read up on Darwin. If you're like many of us, Darwin hasn't even crossed your mind since your 4th grade science class. Sure, the Galapagos Islands seem cool, but if that's all you've retained about the famous scientist, today is a great day to brush up on his life. Post hashtag Darwin Day on social media. I probably should have used that hashtag on this video. Maybe I'll go back and do that. There's a little bit more on nationaltoday.com. Check that out. That's a good resource to find out what's going on. Those are cool days of the year. Almost every day of the year. I'm pretty sure every day of the year has something to celebrate. So celebrate today, Darwin Day. Hope you had fun with this. I had fun just finding out a little bit more about Darwin, a little brush up. Yeah, 4th grade. I guess that's when you learn about evolution. And then, I don't know, schools are getting weird. You have the two teams, the conservatives and the liberals, right? And the conservatives don't want to teach about, they want to teach about creation sometimes. And the liberals want to teach that, I don't know. Nobody knows for sure. That's why it's theories of evolution, theories of creation, unless you have the extreme faith and you feel that, yeah, you were created by the invisible man upstairs. Yeah. Tell me what you think about Darwin Day and Charles Darwin himself. Drop some comments. Let me know what you think. Even if it's, creation. If you have a discussion that you want to do on creation, I'm sure, I know I've heard a lot of podcasts and read some things about Charles Darwin because he did study a lot of religious things. So he tried to meld those two together, the creation versus evolution. He tried to really, intelligent design, where if it is creation, you were created one thing, and then, let me change this and move that, and over millions of years, change and move, and ultimately it becomes the face that you're seeing right here, right in front of you, from the smallest amoeba to KeysDAN. Darwin Day. Enjoy yourself. This has been What Makes You Smarter. Hey, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Smarter. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com.